So good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you I don't know, I'm Nancy Smith, Executive Director with the Shawano Country Chamber of Commerce. So welcome so much to our virtual Lunch and Learn. I hope that some of you had a chance to maybe get some takeout lunch that you're eating. I don't see anybody eating, so maybe not. But we want to thank our sponsor for this event, Kirsten Accounting and Tax. We really appreciate their support. So we wanted to do this Lunch and Learn about creating videos because this topic is so important, especially right now. Video is one of the most effective ways to reach our audiences on social and mobile platforms. Studies show that 85% of customers are more likely to make a purchase after watching a video. That's 85% of customers. That's huge. And 50% of people say they'd be most likely to share video content with friends over other type of content. So this medium has so much potential to help your bottom line. Just a couple of housekeeping items before we get started. Please keep yourself muted unless you have a question. Our presenters said they're more than happy if you want to interrupt. If you have a question you would like to ask them about something they're covering, please feel free to do that. Otherwise, you can also type your question into the chat function, which is on the bottom, in the center of the bottom there. Some of you did send in questions with your registration. Thank you very much. And our presenters will be covering those questions during their presentations. Also, just so you're aware, we are recording this session. So we're so fortunate to have 3 business owners with us today who have used video with great success. So they're going to share their tips and tricks with us today. We have Tammy Brichikowski, founder and partner of Dynamic Designs Unlimited, and Heather Paul, owner of Martin Jewelers, and Kathy Hansen, owner of Body Essentials. So our 3 presenters have different approaches to their videos, from more casual and spontaneous to more formal and planned. So you'll get a nice variety today. So there's many types of business videos and reasons for doing a video. So my recommendation is that you start, before you do a video, by asking yourself 2 questions that are important in any type of marketing that you're doing. Number 1, who is your audience? And number 2, what is the purpose of the video? So the answers to these questions will help you determine what type of video to do and where to post it. So we're going to start with Kathy Hansen, who's going to share her casual and spontaneous approach to doing her Facebook Lives. So take it away, Kathy.
Thanks, Nancy. Kristen and I we were doing videos before the stores were shut down, but the day we found out that we were going to be shut down, we kind of looked at each other and knew that we had to do something. So our goal when we started these videos was just to make sure the customers remembered that we were on Main Street, because as everybody knows, there's a lot of, it's easy to click a button and be forgotten. So that's where we kind of started with, and we tried a few different ways of doing our videos. So first of all, the things you need to do what we do, you don't need much. You need a phone or an iPad connected. We go through Facebook, and then you need a microphone is good. And I'm just going to show you the little mic we have. And if you want to know what it is, I do have the item number, and you can talk to Nancy or just private message me and I'll let you know what it is. I can send you a picture and all of that. But this just hooks right into the bottom of my phone, and I don't have my phone here because I live in a house without internet, so I'm hotspotting today. So if I suddenly disappear, you'll know why, because then, you know, I got overridden by many others using it. But this is the microphone we use. It just kind of turns up, and I aim it out at Krista. If you don't use a microphone, the person behind the phone is super loud and the person in the room is not. We decided to do this instead of a lariat type because Krista does changes, quick changes through our fashion shows. and it doesn't work. We'd rather it was right on her, but it doesn't work for us because of that. Even if we went wireless, you'd still hear her changing and all of that. So that's why we didn't do that. We also bought a ring light, and we use that. We do two different types of videos. We do Krista's Fast Fashions and Krista's Formal Fashions. And we use the ring light for the formals because we're in a stationary spot. And if you look up, I'm thinking a lot of you know what a ring light is. If you don't, look it up. I also have a suggestion on the ring light to get, and Nancy has that information as well. The first ring light I bought was wrong. It was too small. The phone could not go on the inside of the light, even though it showed pictures of it in the light, and it made it look like it would work. It definitely would not. So I actually have a ring light that's big enough for my phone and for my iPad, because as we start going down the road, you're going to see us doing different things, working off of what we do already. So Krista and I just do the spontaneous thing. We try to be consistent with it. On this week, it's rather ironic this week with us doing the videos. This here was the 1 week where we haven't been consistent with our time slot, because we do Tuesday nights, it's Krista's Fast Fashions, and Thursday night is Krista's Formal Fashions. So what we do, the things that you need if you want to do this, first of all, you need two people, I think. And the reason for that is because with one person, it's really hard for that one person to keep a conversation going with themselves. And like while I'm shooting the video, Krista's talking and I'm reading the stuff coming down the screen. We're not typing in on the screen, we're commenting live on the screen. So it's better to have two people, because then if somebody gets stuck, the other person just kind of picks it up and keeps it going. There's no perfection to what we do whatsoever. Krista once ran right into our fitting room wall and everybody could hear it. We could hear her go thunk right on the video, and all it did was get everybody laughing. So they don't look for perfection. In fact, with what we do, I have a lot of customers that comment that they like that it's spontaneous. They don't feel like it's a sales pitch. They feel like it's just something easygoing and fun to watch. And it's gotten to the point that husbands are even watching this, and I guess they laugh at us a lot. So that's what I'm told. We get laughed at a lot. So that's good. So what you need in front of the camera, if you can, is find somebody who's bubbly and not afraid of the camera. If you've ever seen any of our videos, Chris is definitely not afraid of the camera. She's the one who decided that because she didn't know she's like, I don't know how to start every video unless I just do the same thing every time, because then I don't have to think about that. I can just start it. And it's kind of become her little slogan of, welcome, and then off we go to whatever we're going to do. So the reasons that we decided to do these videos was we really wanted to stay connected, and it has connected us so nicely with our customers that we will never stop doing these. We will do them constantly. We wanted to cause some excitement. And we wanted the customers to feel included. And so some of the things we do within the videos actually has them feel included in it. So what we do is so our goal is to make them feel special, to make them feel like they're involved in our business. They can comment and actually give us feedback if they want to. When we comment back to them, they feel very important. After the video is done, I always make sure I go through all of the comments and like them, or if they are something that needs a comment back, we comment back to them. So what this has done for us is it's broadened foot traffic. We also try to maintain our integrity with our videos. We don't want to have a sale every time we're online, because all that does is make them wait for our sales, and everybody knows you can't meet your bills if everything's on sale all the time. So we try to maintain our integrity. We will have seasonal sales where we show them things that, that we're moving out and stuff like that. And we haven't gotten to the point yet of selling online, and that will come down. My website's taking a lot longer to build than I thought. So we're working on that. So I'll just go down my list really quick. We try to stay connected. We want to cause excitement, the feeling of being included. They feel like it's important that they're the first to see what's happening. We maintain our integrity. of the brand of our store. Goal with this will be to start driving that we're not talking about today. This is just something really simple. So how we do this, how we get our videos, we don't ever write a script. We tried that once and it was really bad. It was so bad. It was like, you could tell I'm holding it up and she's trying to read it and it was god awful horrible. And right in the middle of the video, I just literally crumpled it up and she's like, forget that. And we just kept moving on. So if you make a mistake while you're doing your video, it really doesn't matter because it makes you look human and it makes them like you even more. So don't be afraid of just getting out there and doing it. So we always know what inventory is coming in and we try to show them everything that's new. We have found that opening a box and we're first right along with them because we order our stuff so far in advance. When we cut a box open online, we're as excited as they are about what's in it. And that really gets a lot of views when we're actually just doing that. So the live box openings work really well. We also know when we're doing our videos what we have highest stock in or what we want to move through. And we kind of focus on that as well. Totally off the cuff, absolutely no scripting. And we try to change it up. Every once in a while, we'll talk about what we can do a little bit different and we'll be back in that conversation. But that's something where you have to look at your own business and you just kind of learn as you go. Even you can even ask your customers what they want, but that's what we do. So we try to post a reminder earlier in the day on Facebook. We actually, because as you maybe know or maybe don't know, with Creative Suite and Facebook, you can post to Instagram and Facebook at the same time on those still shots. So we'll post on both that our Facebook Live is tonight at 6 o'clock so that Instagram gets it as well. We only do Facebook. We only do Instagram. I know someone had asked about TikTok and whatever. We are not comfortable going beyond those two at this point, and we do YouTube. And those are the three. I am working with somebody who kind of gives me advice, and she's like, just take a couple of things and do them well. It's way better than opening up all these different accounts and then you can't keep up with them and all of a sudden they're lagging. So you're better off just to know where your customers are. We know our customers are on Instagram. We know they're on Facebook. We know I have a lot of emails, and so what we do is, back to this, we length for us is 15 to 20 minutes tops. We actually watch the clock and we'll just, all of a sudden, if you just see us kill it, that's why we'll try to finish the sentence. But we talk to our customers a lot and most of them agree that once you get to 15 minutes, by 20 minutes, they're done and they're walking away from it. So 15 minutes is probably ideal. And it also, you can cover one subject very nicely in 15 minutes from different angles, and it gives you more things to talk about. We only do these lives once a week. We'll do the little short snippets on Instagram every once in a while, but our actual Facebook lives, we do once a week for bridal, once a week for clothing, because we don't want to overkill it. And then we just try to back up the rest of the week with what we talked about in stills and things like that. So when we're done with these, what I do, I'm kind of the techno person, I do all of that stuff. So what we do is you can go on Facebook and you can download your video. So I download the video onto my computer and then upload it into YouTube. Maybe Tammy can help me with that. I haven't seen a way that I can just shoot it off to YouTube and be done with it. But what I do then is, YouTube is another really important channel and we're slowly growing that. But then I take these videos and we use Constant Contact and I put the videos into my email. And so now I've taken this 15-minute video and emailed it with, maybe, like I just sent out one today with a video, and then we do have some winter clearance, and I put that in there as well. But the email really kind of reinforces it for us as well. And from what I'm understanding, email is just as important now as it was 15 years ago. And I have a lot of ladies that they're a little older and they like to get it in the email. So and we do get some shares and things. So, I mean, basically have somebody on the back of the camera that likes to talk, have somebody on the front of the camera that's not afraid of it, and just have fun. If you're not sure what to do, start with just a short little 3-minute, but just have fun with it. That's all I've got. That's what we do.
That's awesome. You had so many great suggestions in there. I liked your point about don't worry about the mistakes because that makes it more interesting. We were having a conversation before this. That makes it more interesting. Right. You know, people will remember the mistakes, and I like how you said it makes you human. It makes it very authentic, and people are probably more likely to share it if you made a mistake in there. So,
right.
So those of you, go ahead.
Yeah, they come in and tell us about our mistakes. So it actually brings them in the door because they have to come in and tell us how hilarious our mistake was.
That's great. And I hear from people, they're afraid to be in front of the camera. They're like, oh, I couldn't possibly do, you know, a Facebook Live. But they need to come and talk to you and Heather, because you just got to do it. You know, don't worry about making a mistake. Just do it. Just do it. So I think that's great. Also, we did have a question about the microphone. I think it may have been answered. Robin wanted to know, does the plug-in mic drain battery quickly? And do you use a tripod on casters?
And does not burn battery down quickly, and I hand hold through the whole thing. I've tried tripods, things like that, but for me, it's too restrictive for what I do. I try to really make sure I hold it. I move when you're zooming into something, you have to go twice as slow as you think you should go, so that you're not, you know, just going so fast you make everybody dizzy. But I don't use any type of tripod on the lives, because if she falls, I have to aim it. You know, if something is happening, I have to be able to be really spontaneous and just move the camera, and the tripod just restricts me too much. So,
and on our lives, it was exactly the opposite. We had to have it in a stand and a tripod, because we had to be able to zoom and focus in on really small details of jewelry. So we have ours on a tripod, and our tripod is plugged into the wall, and our phone has a jack that plugs into the light ring. So everything is maintaining their charge at the same time. So you never have to worry about your phone losing your charge and going dead in the middle of your live. But
my zoom. So when I zoom up on something, don't zoom with your phone. Walk up to it. If you're hand holding, you walk up to what you're zooming in on. You are the zoom. The phone is not, because otherwise it's going to be shaky and not good. So if you see us zooming, I'm literally walking with the telephone to zoom in closer. So.
Okay, and just so you know, when you get the ring light, there is a holder for your phone within the ring light. It's right in the middle. So it's a tripod and it's a ring light 2-in-1. So I love using that. But like we said, everyone approaches it differently. We do have a question from Karen. Besides causing excitement and keeping you in the forefront of customers' minds, does it actually produce sales and new customers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it actually does. It brings people in on a regular basis. At first we were closed, so, you know, it actually brought some sales in, but now it brings people in. Absolutely. You have to be patient with it and give it a little bit of time, because, you know, what you're showing has to interest them to get them in the door. But absolutely, we state they'll watch a video, and then so absolutely we get sales, and absolutely we get customers in the door.
For us,
I just wanted to go off of that too a little bit, because, you know, we have to remember that not everybody is ready to buy that certain day, but knowing, you know, Kathy does these videos, and I watch them, and yeah, and usually it's around supper time for me that I watch them. So Bruce has to watch them too, but it makes us, you know, when we're ready to purchase, those guys are top of mind. I mean, even Heather, I mean, when my son wanted to get his girlfriend a promise ring, she's the only one that I thought of going to. So, you know, I mean, both of them. In fact, Kathy, I'll be seeing you today.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm actually at home today. I have company at my house and we're in the middle of sheephead.
Well,
But
I won't
this
see
is
you then.
water.
For us, with the videos, once we post the videos to our Facebook page for people to watch at a
Krista's
later
there.
date, we need to make sure that we're constantly watching the comments on them, because we'll leave them up and then we'll change the comments on the individual items, like what the price is or if it's sold or not sold. And we'll usually leave it up like this promotional run through this date, but then you have to monitor the comments constantly, because we'll continue to make sales well after the live has ended.
Right. So can I add to that a little bit? First of all, when people want to buy from us, we ask them to private message us so it doesn't get lost, because the stream can get quite long.
Mhm.
And what our goal is to work towards is a company called Comment Sold. And that's for when you are Facebook living. Once you are done, it keeps it alive. And when you sell something, it knows you sold it. And it's, you know, it kind of does everything all inclusive for you. I'm just waiting to get my website a little bit better off, because it'll actually be sold right off the site then. But that's another option down the road. There's a lot of options.
Mhm.
It's just one step at a time and baby steps, because those giant steps could kill you.
And the
Then
technology
it
is
looks
is
impossible.
constantly changing. You know, the technology is constantly changing
Yeah.
in regards to how that works. And there are some people who are concerned about, should they still be on Facebook or should they not be on Facebook? And what happens if Facebook starts charging for these live stream services? They want to be able to have their videos and drive traffic directly to their website and do those types of sales off of their website versus through Facebook as a medium. So that's coming as well.
All right, I have one more question, probably for both of you, and then we'll switch over to Heather. The question is, how do you get your audience? I'm assuming they have to like your page before they'll see your video, correct?
No. I don't know if you want to answer that first, but for us, when the lives, we do a thing where it's a comment and share.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. It's
Oh, I'm sorry, Nancy. I didn't know if you were me or Kathy, because
Go ahead, Heather, and then we'll go to Kathy.
Okay.
Heather, you can answer it first.
for the live videos, it's a little bit different than some of the other videos, but on lives, if it's created as part of an event, you can do a boost on that event through Facebook, and it's going to hit other people besides just your customers who've liked and followed your page. So you have the option to select who you boost to, and we tend to do a certain radius. We look at the demographics. You can slice and dice it any way you want in regards to who you're boosting to. If you're wanting to spend a few dollars to let people know in advance of your live event, if it's actually created as an event on a Facebook page.
Yeah, we definitely get people that are not on our page. I have people walking in the door that I've never, they come in, they think they know us because they see us, and I've never seen them before. They're not in our database. But yeah, Facebook Live is really good. We used to do YouTube and then post it to Facebook, and Facebook Live gets you a lot more action than posting. So that's why we do it in the reverse order now. And yeah, people sharing things like that, it does a pretty good job. So I would say definitely you get people that are not just liking your page. We get new likes all the time now because of this.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tammy had oh, there you go.
Yeah, I wanted to comment. So Heather, you mentioned boosting. So really though, if you're doing, if you're not paying, they're only gonna, the people are only going to see what's 10% of the people. Like somebody asked if you know, if they follow you or if they like your page, you know, are they going to see it? They not necessarily are going to see it.
Right.
One of the things that if you can train your followers to click that notifications, so that when you do go live and when you do things like that, you get notified. So that is I think Melanie asked that, I think that's really important to kind of train your audience to, hey, if you want to see us go live, click those notifications. But otherwise, you really do have to pay to play in with Facebook. So, but the more engagement you get going back and forth will push that post out even further. So if you can get people commenting back and forth and, like sharing and doing all this stuff, your post is going to go to more people that follow you. So just kind of remember that.
As you're doing it, you always want to ask people to do a like or a comment or a live share at the time that they're watching it. And then that boosts it significantly. But you just don't know, because I know for Sam 25, I did one and we were talking about not wanting to be in front of it. And I was not feeling it last Saturday, Jen. And so I like flipped the camera in the other way and I videoed the front of the store and the activity that was in the front of the store, but it was my voice, and went live for less than a minute to say, hey, we've got this flash sidewalk sale, fill a bag, $5. And within an hour, it had hit 120 or 130 people and 89 people had seen it. And then they told each other, and we did it right at the beginning of the event. And we had people coming to the event only because they'd seen it shared on Facebook Live.
Awesome. All right. So for everybody watching, if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I think we're going to move on to Heather now. There will be a time at the end of all this where we can answer any questions too. So Heather, take it away.
Did you want me to address any of the questions that came in advance, or are we going to talk about those in a little bit or a little bit later?
Did I miss something? Did I miss a question?
The ones that were mailed in.
Oh, sure. Yeah. If you want to address those now, that'd be fine.
I know somebody asked about their favorite video making software to use on mobile devices besides an iPhone. There's a lot that's available for that. Somebody asked about using Clips for an iPhone. Splice is also a very good app that you can use if you're just doing the editing directly on the phone. So Splice is the one that's really good. There is, it was made for editing on the go. So if you're not going to do longer videos or things like that, and you're just looking for quick clips that you're going to put out there, that's an app that does well from that. Then they talked about TikTok, and I think we already said TikTok, you don't really get to choose who your audience is. It's kind of a national, international, global phenomenon. It works really well if you're doing a how-to or a video that's like explaining your process. You don't really have a lot of control over it, whether it goes viral or doesn't go viral, but it is a good opportunity to get out there. Unless if you're set up for e-commerce though, don't expect to get a lot back out of that, because you can't really choose who your audience is. And if they're, 8 states away, you have to be willing to be able to sell to them through that platform. So if you're not e-commerce ready, TikTok isn't going to do a lot for you. And then we talked a little bit about the length of the video, and that's really is all over the board with that first question, who is your audience and the 2 questions, what are you trying to accomplish? If it's a product promotion, and we've done, and I'll talk about this as it ties into all the different videos we've done product promotion and I know Tammy will understand this, but when you do ads on Facebook, not boosting Facebook, but actual ads, 30 seconds really is the length that you want to hit or under that, because it's really hard to get the videos seen and get the traffic that you want if it's more than a 30-second ad on a product promo. 1 to 5 minutes if we're announcing upcoming events or we're talking about business updates. We tend to try to stay about 3 to 5 minutes if we're doing a brand storytelling, like here's a new product that's come in, we want to tell you about what this product is. That's some brand storytelling. And then live stream, it depends. I know Kathy does them frequently, so she keeps 15 to 20 minutes. We don't do our lives as often, but we definitely want to make sure that we're staying well under an hour, no more than that, because it does get difficult. But we tell people in advance, like, grab yourself a glass of wine and put your feet up and here we go. And they know that, and they're like, that's it. That's all you have is kind of the feedback we got, but we don't want to go much longer than that. So. And then the tips with the editing clips, somebody asked, what do you do to edit? Again, we talked a little bit about Splice. The other one, YouTube has a lot of tutorials on how to use some of these applications in regards to putting together, if you're using an application on a telephone to do your editing. Uploading was another question, as maybe multiple people are working on video pieces, and I am going to be doing like a piece for junior achievement. How do you share those bits and pieces? They're usually too big to email. So we use Dropbox. We also use Google Drive and Google Documents. And Amanda, my daughter Amanda, who does a lot of the work, I would say with me, but we're just going to be honest and say it's for me, is through Google Drive. And so we'll share the videos that way so that we're not trying to send them back and forth. So that's the best way to share the larger files. She tends to like to use Dropbox. We use Google Drive a little bit more for that. But in the videos that we've done multiple different kinds. And again, it's nice because Kathy's the one who encouraged me to do the lives. I don't even know that I would have started if I hadn't gone down and talked to them. And they're like, Heather, you just need to do this. So I have to give credit to Kathy and Krista for getting me involved in that, because I was not comfortable. So I really, truly appreciate that. But we then found out, because video cuts through all other types of social media and really gets the views, we did it informational with interviews. We did that in our 60th anniversary to get different perspectives. So I brought Aunt Dorothy Martin in, and we did a series of interviews with her. We do the promos for certain things. What's really captured a lot of ground, traffic for us is behind the scenes. People like to feel like they're getting a behind the scenes peek that other people don't have access to. So if you can do something that they feel like they have that exclusive access to, it tends to capture their attention a bit more. We did one upstairs in the clock shop that is closed to the public, and people were like super excited to see the clock shop or what's behind the wall in the store and things like that. So behind the scenes videos capture a lot of attention. We did some quick topic ones, and then the importance is to create that YouTube site to put all those videos into at a later date, a place to capture all of it. And for us, we've got different options depending upon what we're doing is how we record it. I know you showed a picture of your microphone. And so the ones that we use is same kind of like Nancy uses at the chamber. This will clip onto the person, and go through their shirt and down to their back. And then the other piece of it clips into your cell phone. So then it doesn't work for Krista, but it works for us to have the person who's talking be mic'd, especially if they're a long ways away from the camera. So if you're too far away from whoever's filming and you can't use the microphone like Kathy was talking about, this is the other one, is it Comaphone or something like that. So, and I think that's similar to what you have, Nancy, as well. So that plugs in. And then of course, if you have a new iPhone that doesn't have an audio jack, you got to get the converter for that, but it's not expensive. And we also bought the wrong light ring at first as well. So that didn't work out as well as we would have liked to have thought it would. Keeping it real was the other thing. It is not slick production. It is not about having slick production. The videos, some of the ones that we have, and we have some loaded on the bottom of our webpage, were produced. I had a gentleman who came in and put together a video actually to show at the movie theater in Shawano. And if somebody's going to do something like that, get the rights to it. So originally they were just going to make the video, and they're like, oh, this will play for 4 months at, the movie theater here in Shawano. And I said, yeah, but we need a copy of that. So you need to provide me a copy along with a full release, because that is an informational and promotional video about our company now that we use on our website. And basically, I don't want to say for free, because there was a small fee to have it initially done, but now I have that long after that one is done playing, which incidentally, they didn't stop after 4 months. I think it played for like 6 or 9 months. They didn't trade it out all that fast, but we have that video then as a company production or promotional piece, which is completely different than any of the other ones we've done. And someone else who had a really neat one done local and not for a lot of money was Old Glory Candy, and they used a drone. And that was a really neat promo video that they used as well, that came up and over their store that way. So, and, with a little bit of technology, but it wasn't like it was high end. So being relational, and what Kathy was talking about, that was key. Having somebody who's comfortable in front of the camera. If you're not, flip it around, because there's a way to do a voiceover and capture the video you need if your face isn't on it. But I will say, as a business owner, as a store owner, they want to see your face. They want to see you. And so it's really important that they have that connection. We've got people in Chicago and Georgia and Louisiana who, again, feel like they're connected to us because even though they can't come in, they're seeing it. And I recently had somebody say, take video, please, of like your front windows because we can't walk Main Street. We don't know what it looks like. Send us a picture, which is really neat. Was a great option. So I think I covered a lot of those questions. I wouldn't be doing a promo about how to make a video if we didn't show you a video about how to make a video. So of course we did. It's a little bit techy, but at the same time, I think it covers the basics and it shows you it does not take a lot of technology to do this. So some of you might be a little overwhelmed and some of you are going to be like, it's drop and drag. It really is just drop and drag to have it made. So I'm going to have Nancy share her screen and hopefully share the video that we made on how to make a video.
Yes, awesome. Thank you to your daughter, Amanda, for doing that. And I just want to say, so Amanda's going to cover the first part of what she's covering is just going to be basics, including equipment, filming etiquette, and audio. So then the second part of her video is really just a little tutorial on using iMovie. So if you have any Mac or Apple computers, you know, that's already built in, you have it. She goes through everything pretty quickly, so don't let it overwhelm you, because I think you have offered to send this out, the video out, if people want to actually have this video and go through it at your own pace if you're going to be doing iMovie. If any of you attended our annual celebration and awards for the Chamber, all of the videos that were pre-recorded that were shown, I and my husband did in iMovie. I had never used it before and I figured it out. So it's looks kind of complicated, but it's not. So, all right, I'm going to share here. All right, can you see that? Are you seeing the video?
Yes.
Okay, all right, I'm going to go ahead and start it then.
Seeing it, not hearing it.
Not
There's
hearing
no
it,
sound.
there's no audio.
Well, that's interesting. We were just talking about this before we started. What do you do when things don't go right?
Nancy, are you sharing your screen? Are you share? I mean, sometimes when you, I
I'm
think
going to
there's,
try again here. Share screen. Share.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to do. Yeah.
Can you hear it?
No.
No,
No?
No.
I don't think you can share the screen. I think, is there a, can you actually share video?
Oh, you don't think you can share video?
No, no.
Oh,
Yes. Mm-mm. You can share a Google slide presentation, but you can't.
okay. So plan B, that's what we were just talking about. It's always important to have a plan B. We will send this out to everyone who's attending. We'll send this video out. You can watch it on your own time, and it's great information. Amanda does a fantastic job with it. So I do encourage, if you plan to use iMovie, go ahead and watch it and get it. I even learned a lot by watching it. So sorry about that, Heather. Shoot. But we will send that link out to everybody so you'll have a chance to watch that. So Heather, did you have anything else to add before we move on to Tammy? You're muted.
I'll look behind the screens while Tammy's talking too and see if there's a different way without sharing the screen, if there's a way that can come through, but I'm not sure that there is. Because I know we've been able to do that before in some other Zoom meetings that we're in, that we can capture the audio on it. So I'll check and see.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah,
all right.
If you had any other questions?
Any other questions for Heather before we move on to Tammy? All right, Tammy, you're up.
Okay, so so our business is a little bit different. You guys are in the retail business, and we're actually we do a lot of videos for customers. Some of our customers are, you know, manufacturers that might be showing how a machine is done. So we're recording. Sometimes we do them live. Sometimes we just, you know, we put together videos. Sometimes they send us videos off their phone and we put together, sometimes it's an iMovie. But I'm going to show you, I have a little presentation, so maybe I'll just kind of bring that up right now. Let's just see here. Okay. And let's see, can I make it bigger? Okay, are you guys seeing this?
Yes.
Yep, okay, all right. So, well, a lot of you know me already, so I'm just gonna go past that because this was from another presentation. Okay, so what I wanted to share with you today, because I have certain tools that I use for video, for social media, and these are my favorite ones right now. So I want to share this with you guys. If you can see Canva right here on the left-hand side, this is an amazing app, a program you use on your computer. You can do video, you can do Instagram, you can do Facebook, you can do presentations. This is the best app I've ever used right here for creating videos and fun stuff like this. So they may have a unpaid version. I paid for this version, but they do, I believe, have an unpaid version. So if you're looking for something simple, easy to use, and that does so much, Canva is awesome. Ripple is my next favorite one. I can lay in bed at night, and I do this, you guys. I lay in bed at night and I create videos from my phone with Ripple. Short little animated videos for social media, you know, just real short, quick little things that you can do right from your phone, and it's really easy. And they have a free app, and there also is a paid version. The paid version allows you to impose like your logos and brand your business on there. So Ripple is another awesome app. Adobe Spark, this one here is also a phone app. I don't use it as much, but it does a lot of things. You know, there's certain ones I just have my favorites, but Adobe Spark I think is free. So check that out. Premiere Pro, the PR right here, Premiere Pro and the Rush down here. These are, Premiere Pro is more for making movies, more for videos. It does a little bit more than iMovie. So if you're familiar with iMovie, Premiere Pro can, it can separate audio from video. It does a lot of different things that iMovie can't do, but iMovie is, you know, is pretty cool. So I don't have iMovie on here, but that is cool. Premiere Rush is more for quick videos. So both of those are really good apps. What I've included here too is this orange thing. It's called Restream. And I think, Kathy, you might have mentioned something. Oh, Tammy, you'll know that. So what Restream is, and I'm going to share a link with you guys, but Restream, if you watched Nancy do the awards banquet, I'm assuming that you may have done that through Restream, Nancy, or something similar. Do you know?
I know the Voluminance Studio broadcast it through our Facebook Live. So they were streaming to our Facebook. So I don't know what software he used.
Okay. So what Restream does, it's pretty cool, but you can be live. Okay. It's software, you pay for it. But you can be live and you can have captions going across and you can be doing different stuff. And then you can share a video. So that's kind of what you guys did. You were live and then you can share a video. But what Restream does is I can share a video on 3 different platforms all at once going live. So that is the really cool thing about that. There's a lot to learn in this and it's pretty technical, but it's really, really cool. And I have something I'm going to share with you guys, a link that I just did a video. We did a historic bus tour for Pulaski. We have Kashmir Pulaski Days this week. And we did a historic bus tour, and you can see how we come back, we talk, I have guests on with us, and then I go to a video. So I'm gonna share that with you guys so you can look at that. This little pineapple thing down here, it's called Handshake. I think that's what it's called, Handshake. And what that does is it compresses video. So using Restream, your videos have to really be compressed down for to share on Restream, to push out there. And so what this does is it will compress down a video. Okay. Okay. So these tools here, the girls use them all the time. I use Adobe Stock because I pay for Adobe Stock and I love Adobe Stock, but they use FreePic, Pixabay, Pexels, Google Images. They use all of those things. So you can create video out of stock designs, and Ripple allows you to do that. Some of these other ones for social media. So if you guys are looking to do social media and not just put a picture up there, but to put a video of things, and you need some good resources, these are some awesome resources that I wanted to share with you today. Okay, so the reason that you want to optimize your video is you want the right people to find your video. And what Nancy said earlier about knowing your audience, this is so very important. You need to know who this video is going out to. You need to know who your audience is so that you can target that audience, all right? So this is just something I grabbed from Kashmir Pulaski Days. There's a video out there. And when I say optimize things, okay, so this is a YouTube right here, and I just kind of put some parts and pieces in here, but your video details, this is really important. This probably should be longer than this, but your details of your video should be in the description. So don't just make a video without putting the details out there in text, because when you put this out on the internet and when you put this out on your website, people, the search engines, you have to remember, they know you have a video out there, but they don't know what that video is saying unless you have a description or you have a transcript, which I'll get into in a second too. So it knows that there's a picture, it knows that there's a video, but it doesn't understand it unless you put the words to it. So you have to remember that that is just as important as that video. And your, end cards, you just want to make sure you have all this stuff filled out in YouTube, in Facebook. You need to make sure that this information, and that you have a good thumbnail, okay? If you got a crappy thumbnail, and this one, it's kind of crappy, but it kind of shows you, what it is. And so thumbnails are really important. Details are important. Let's just see here. Details, thumbnails, audio transcript. What that is that takes everything that you're saying and it creates a transcript. And YouTube can do that. And I have a video in here, and I shared this already with Nancy, so you guys can watch that video on your own time, because you might want to stop it and go and stop it and go. But it actually gives you a transcript. So let's say you're doing, like we do a process for, let's say we do a process for a manufacturer, and we have a certain way that we're telling people how to do something, right? So an audio transcript can actually create that audio transcript without you typing anything up. You can go in there and fix that audio transcript a little bit later, but everything that you say on that video, it can create an audio transcript, and so it can create a document for you, and that's really important. One more thing I just wanted to mention, that the first 24 hours of your live video that's very important. So when when you guys, when Kathy says she pushes it out on email, it's really important and critical that when you push that video out and you share that video, the first 24 hours are really, really important. So get it out there as quickly as you can. It will help with that viral, okay, that viral stuff. So first 24 hours. So sticking it in an email that first 24 hours is a good thing to do. So this is a transcript, how to make a transcript from a Zoom recording. So that I have included here, and we use Zoom a lot too. We just did a Zoom event. It was a cooking event. And so I know you guys are all familiar with Zoom, but you can, create transcripts from Zoom. Whoops, I didn't want to.
Today we'll be going over
geez.
Zoom's cloud recording. Hey, Ben.
Hey, could you hear that?
Yeah.
Well, now that's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
So you could hear it in my thing here. Okay, that's really interesting. I didn't want you to hear it because you can look at it later. This one is a YouTube for YouTube, doing it on YouTube, creating a transcript. So most of the things that
This is
here
the
it's
coolest
doing
feature
it
I've ever
again.
seen.
Okay, so most of everything that's out there and anything that you have questions on, you can find on Google and YouTube. So make sure you check that out. But this was a good video, I thought, for this. So let's just keep going here. Video produces more conversions than any other type of media. So when I mentioned that about, you can throw a picture up there on social media, but use Ripple and create a little video, create an animated video. It actually creates 70% more conversions. And then Nancy had one of the areas to kind of talk about is the analytics. And every program, Facebook has it. This is YouTube. Just make sure that you're checking out the analytics to see how it's actually doing for you. You can learn a lot from your videos. You can see your videos, see what's out there, see what's doing good, see what's not doing good. And basically I use analytics to kind of learn a little bit about how that video is working for us over time. Remember, the rule of 7 simply says that you have to see, and you guys probably all know this, but it's important 7 to 10 times before they will ever buy from you. And video is a great way. Social media is a great way. You just want to stay top of mind. And when Kathy and Heather do their things, their lives, I might not get in there, that day, but anytime I think about, going to, like today, I got to get something for this weekend because we have this big cashmere days going on. So I gotta wear something nice, right? So I'm going to Kathy today, even though she's not going to be there. But you just want to make sure that you remain top of mind for everybody that is out there. And what a great non-pushy sales way to do it than with these, these videos these ladies are creating. I think, Nancy, there's a couple things, that might come up here, but I think for overall, the biggest thing, if you guys take anything from this, push out your videos 24 hours. That first 24 hours is very, very important. That's my big takeaway anyways. But utilize some of those tools out there too.
And I'm going to put a plug in for Canva. Love Canva. I am not a graphic designer. They have a lot of templates. You go into Canva, there is a free version, by the way, but it is well worth, purchasing the subscription. You go in, it will ask you, what are you trying to make? You can say a Facebook post, an Instagram post, event, cover, Facebook cover, video, presentation, title, whatever, and it will automatically, create it in the size. They have all kinds of photos you can choose from. Like I said, the templates, it's awesome. So I highly recommend Canva. So are there any other questions that anyone would like to ask at this point?
Nancy, I wanted everyone to know I did put I put a link in for our historic bus tour that we just did, but that was done through Restream. The video that we did, all the videos that we did were created in Premiere Pro. So if you want to get an idea of maybe what something like that looks like and how that restream works, there's the link for you.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, if there are no other questions, Heather had some instructions for me on how to try to share the video again, which I can try to do. I did not see a share sound or optimize for video clip anywhere. It's just pretty much share. Oh, here we go. Got it. There they are. Let's try it again here.
Hi, my name is Amanda Paul, and I am the social media marketing
we hearing
manager
it?
at Martin Jewelers in Shawano. Now today I have
Yes.
Steve Jobs / Dwayne The Rock Johnson turtleneck because I'm going to be taking you through my process of how I edit videos for social media. Now at Martin Jewelers, we've done a wide variety of videos: customer testimonials, product promotions, upcoming events, historic storytelling, but whatever video you're trying to make, the process is usually the same. In terms of equipment, I like to follow the make do with what you can philosophy. All you really need is a phone or camera to film on and a laptop or tablet, sometimes even a phone to edit on. However, if you want a more professional video or just for it to be a little bit cleaner, you can invest in a few things that will help you out. The first thing I would recommend is a ring light / tripod. I got mine on Amazon for I think $20 for Christmas. It can go I think up to 3 feet. It has a light with multiple different settings. And the lighting you want to go for is really up to you. It depends on the mood. I know when we're in the store, it's pretty bright, so we have that bright white light. Everything is sparkly. Right now I'm just in my room. It's nighttime. I'm feeling calm, so I just have a couple backlights and then a ring light in front of me. So the first thing you want to make sure you do is, if you're filming on a phone, which has always worked fine in my opinion, easy, always with you, doesn't require a lot of setup, you want to make sure that it's horizontal. If it's horizontal, you're going to fill the frame. You can crop as you need to. However, if you're filming vertically, it's going to look like this when you edit. The edges will be cut out. It's not gonna look as clean as it could if you film horizontally. And I know that's a challenge to get used to because we're always used to just taking pictures like this, but when you're filming, make sure that it's horizontal. So for this next part, I'm gonna be switching over to voiceover, a part of the video where audio is very important. So in these situations, you either want a microphone, such as this one, or you can use any earbuds or earphones that have a microphone built in, and I'll take it away from there in voiceover.
It's voiceover, Amanda. So you can see here I'm just selecting all of the raw footage that I want to use in my video, and I'm importing it into iMovie. iMovie comes free with Mac products, but pretty much any laptop or tablet will have some kind of built-in or downloadable video editing software. Sometimes I'll use something more advanced for complex projects, but for this type of video, iMovie's totally fine. So I'm really going to start by just giving you a basic tour of iMovie. Under My Media, you can see all of the videos you imported for this specific project. You can also find photos and videos from other tabs on your computer. Audio, you can add a song playing in the background. You would just select one and drag it down the same you would as a clip. And you can adjust the volume up here, make it, a soft background song. We're not going to do that today, so let's delete. You can also add sound effects that iMovie has pre-made. Those can sometimes be fun, same way you just drag them down. And then GarageBand is another location you can find some songs. Titles, you can use these either as title screens, so just, an introduction screen, and you would do that by putting it in front, or you can put it on top of your existing clip to just add text overlaying. We see backgrounds up here. If you're using a map, this is really all you would use it for, so I don't really know about that one. And then transitions, I didn't use it in this specific video because it's just me talking, but for product promotions, it's really nice. You can see it has this fade effect, little glitchy just because it's buffering right now. And then in this little, where'd she go? In this little tab over here, you can adjust a lot of visual and audio elements of your clip. So the first one is white balance. If you want a stark white, maybe for a product video, you can select a white point. Here we can adjust the brightness, super dark, super bright. You can also do the saturation over here. Black and white's fancy. And then cool or warm tones if your lighting is like a little too blue or a little too yellow. Here we have the crop. Crop to fill will fill your entire screen. And then Ken Burns is kind of this really gradual zooming effect that I think looks silly on most videos, but I could see how you would use them for product promotions. These buttons, you can rotate your video. We're going to keep it upright. Here we have stabilize shaky video. I actually find sometimes this makes it worse if you're holding your camera or holding your phone. It can kind of just be disorienting, but I'm using a tripod, so we don't need that. Audio, you can turn up or down. Here we have background noise. You can reduce background noise using that. You can also adjust the speed of your clip, so you can speed it up, slow it down. Freeze frame is fun. And then filters, I would refrain from using them just because you can see they're a little bit dramatic. Sometimes they're fun if you're going for a certain look. Here's a little antique one. But I'm just going to start by dragging this first clip down into this bottom section. The white bar is going to show you where you want to cut the video. So right here, I'm going to split clip, delete the section where I was setting up the camera. And then I saw that it wasn't quite perfect, so you can also just slide the beginning or ends of clips to kind of fine tune if you have shorter increments of time. I'm going to do the same thing, split right here, delete that section, and then you're going to want to play the transitions so that you can see they're smooth. So later on in the editing process, I wanted to do a cutaway where you are watching one clip but hearing the audio from another, so I just drag it on top right here. And it looks like it's not quite aligned with the audio from the lower one, so I slid it over. I'm going to then cut the audio from the top clip, so you're only hearing the bottom one, but you're watching the top, and play it back. Looks good. And then I realized no one wants to watch 6 seconds of me playing with lights, so I sped that up and deleted the excess from the end of the original clip, and then I'm going to watch it back. Looks good. You can also do this with photos to have a photo on top of audio from a different video. The only difference is you won't have to cut the audio from the photo because it doesn't have any audio. Now here at the end I'm adding text. I'm going to go to titles and drag it down and place it on top of the clip. I wanted to add my email address at the very end, which you will eventually see this clip. So I'm just going to type in the text that I want. It needs a little more oomph, so I'm going to make it bold. And it lines up on the screen with kind of where my hands are. I'm going to play it back, make sure it looks good. So lastly, I'm going to show you how I did this very voiceover. Go to Window, go down to Record Voiceover, allow your computer access to your microphone, and then this little red button will show up, kind of an inception moment because that's what I'm doing right now. It'll count you in, 3, 2, 1. And then once it starts recording, you'll see that orange turn to green. That's the audio coming up underneath. So once you're done editing and you've watched it a couple times, you're going to click this export button in the top, export file. This is the title that I want. It's in the highest resolution, so it's not going to look grainy on different devices. Click next, and then choose where you want to export it to. Desktop is good, and click save.
And there you have it, a finished video. Hopefully this helped everyone out. It might seem a little bit basic, but it does take some time to really get comfortable and master doing it so that you can film, edit, and put videos out pretty quickly. If you ever have any questions, specific questions, general questions, or help with any projects, my email is right here. And back to you, Heather.
All right, that was awesome, but that's a lot of information in a short amount of time. So we will be sending that link out. Heather, I don't know if you had anything to add to that.
No, I know, and for some people, it might be like overly basic, and other people, it might be completely overwhelming. But even if you don't have, if you're not using iMovie, a lot of the content and how to create it is all the same, and it's drop and drag. So it really is simple.
Awesome. And we thank Amanda for doing that. All right. Now it is time for Q&A. Those burning questions you have about making a video, Facebook Live, anything. You have 3 very talented business owners here that can answer your questions. Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? Okay, well, what I'm going to do, I will be sending out the links. If the presenters agree, I would also ask if I could send out their emails to anyone. If you have a question you would rather ask offline, I'll send you their emails. I see a lot of head nodding, so that's good. So I will send that out. So any last thoughts from our presenters?
Just go out and have some fun.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
I'm just wondering what the participants, like what kind of videos they're looking to make, and did this hit the mark in regards to what you needed to know to just get started?
Hi, I'm Carrie. I'm the treasurer of SPAC nonprofit, and we want to add videos to our Facebook page and our website to help us recruit volunteers, get folks interested in our program. So I'm not selling a product, but we do want to per se, but we're all volunteer, and this was very helpful to me, and I just want to thank you for the opportunity to participate with this. And hopefully you'll look us up on Facebook and look for Red River Riders, and we can eventually have some videos there that we can look at.
Excellent. Who else would like to share? What type of videos will you be making?
Well, Nancy, I'll just share this. You know, sometimes when you're creating videos, we have, you know, for something that we want to record and send out there, we have a lot of bloopers. So sometimes we'll take some of the bloopers and put them together for a short social media thing, which actually really does well. So don't be afraid to, you know, don't just throw those bad videos out, save them, because they're fun to, you know, to do little bloopers with.
I like that a lot.
This is Nancy Brown Keller from Shawano Pathways. Very similar objectives to Carrie from Red River Rider. We're a volunteer organization. We want to let people know about our events. So we'll get participants and volunteers and get people to join us and we'd like to use the videos on our Facebook page and website. I don't know if I'm ready to make one yet. I'll have to rewatch the videos here that you send out. We'll see, but that's our purpose. So I appreciate the information.
One thing when you're making videos, what they say to do is make sure that you're approachable, and you know, if you're doing a selfie and you're walking or whatever it is, make sure you're smiling. That actually helps people relate a little bit better to you. So just a little tidbit.
Melanie, I see you have unmuted. Did you have something to add?
A couple of twofold, I guess, of things. My husband has his own business, so one of the things that I would like to try to incorporate My son and he are both in business together. Construction, window sales, that sort of thing. So some of the things that were going through my mind as I'm listening to this was, you know, some things to look for, troubleshooting, you know, things to look at on the window frames when it's time to replace or, you know, to get something new, you know, danger things that they could find in the home, maybe with wiring or things like that. And then just a little fun thing is I also work as a zookeeper out at Doc's Harley Davidson, and we have a zoo page on Facebook, and we just like to put some fun little videos out there once in a while, just, you know, to keep the kiddos entertained, especially during this pandemic stretch that we've had where for quite a while we weren't really open, but yet we were allowing people to see everybody and keep in touch with the animals on Facebook. So
Now those could be some interesting videos.
they usually were.
So Melanie, you make a good point. So sometimes when you're wondering, you know, maybe what can you post on, what can you do? Just think about your customers and what problems do they have? You know, if you can be resourceful to them, like we created a video, it's a long time ago, but how to take embroidery out of a shirt because you have the wrong name in it. And for us to do it, it costs too much money because we don't even want to deal with that, right? So we created a video to show people how to do that. And people love that. You know, it's something that we're giving them, you know, a good valuable resource on how they can take embroidery out with a, you know, little razor on the back of it. So we kind of, just think about how you can add value to people and create like a resource. You know, or how to, let's say you're a plumber, right? And you want to learn you want to show people how to unplug a toilet. Really, I mean, you want to go through the real basic stuff of how to unplug a toilet and give them those tools, because you only want, you know, the big jobs, right? I mean, so once they can't unplug that toilet because there's a banana in it, and that did happen to me. Once they, you know, can't do it, then what they do is they call you because you're the expert. So, I mean, you can create think about the resourceful videos that maybe you could create for people out there. And honestly, there was a banana in a toilet at my house, and it was half eaten too. And the boys finally, Brandon fessed up to it that he was the one who eats a banana while they're going to the bathroom and whips it in the toilet after. I don't know, but that would have been a good video if I was a plumber.
You just never know what you're going to hear on these chamber webinars. Terry, I see that you have unmuted. Did you have something to add?
Sure. So I'm Terry Dallas, and I work at Genex, and I've done a few videos here, but today I'm wearing my 5-star lamb hat. And so I do follow a lot of other people on Instagram and Facebook that do a lot of videos. You know, one of the things that's so captivating, you feel like you're in their lives. Like if you miss it for a day, you know, oh my God, did she feed those goats today or didn't she? So I don't want to be quite that extreme, but I do think it's a great way for people, that kind of behind the scenes look that you were talking about. I think that's pretty key, especially anybody that has animals. And then, you know, everybody wants to know where their food comes from. So that's a great opportunity to take them right to the farm and show them where it comes from. So that's what I'd like to do a little bit more of.
Awesome. Yeah, you could do a lot of interesting things. Do you do the sheep shearing? You do that on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I mean, I try to do a lot of the, you know, I think I do okay with just the photos, but I do need to step it up. You know, I've been posting some food lately, but you know, should I post me making the food? Yeah, I got to clean the kitchen, all of those things, and get the dogs out. So we'll baby steps on some of those things.
Awesome. Well, good luck with that. We'll be looking for those.
All right.
All right, we are over time now. Thank you all so much for attending, and thank you to Tammy, Kathy, and Heather. awesome job. And I will be sending those links out. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at the chamber too. So thank you all so much. Have a great day. And we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Nancy. Bye-bye.